So, it's Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick. I have a sore throat, a sinus headache. My body completely aches.
You poor thing.
I have a runny nose. And I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I was perfectly healthy when I got here. And then I saw this. Patrick's with me today. We just got out of Delivery Man. And you are ridiculously excited for this. Because I have a feeling you actually like this.
You want the verdict now or later?
You might as well strip off the Band-Aid now.
I loved this movie. It was excellent. Like, I turned and I saw you and you were giving disapproving looks and I was just like, no. I thought you and I were both on board and we liked the movie. I was wrong. Maybe I was misinterpreting your facial expressions in the dark, but I thought it was an excellent, very, very well done movie. Got a few misses, but...
A few.
But I'd say A-. I'd give it an A-. As a teacher, I'd give that movie an A-. I loved the heck out of it. It's easily one of the best movies I've seen all year. Black Eye, let's go for it. Just do it. Just get it over with.
I'm done.
That's the end of Michael the Comic Nerd. He's hitting the car. It's a rental car. And he's walking away. So that's the end of the review series, and this was a good last film for him. He could have seen a really good movie for his last movie, but no, he chose The Delivery Man, so that's where we're gonna end.
How do you like this piece of shit?
My fingers could have been caught in the door right there. That was a close call.
How the fuck do you like this garbage? And that's
It was a great movie. Don't
How
call
was
it
it a
garbage.
great movie?
Don't call it garbage.
It is garbage.
You paid $6 to see that garbage. That was some of the best $6 I've spent all week. And I've got some good deals on eBay too, so that's saying a lot. So I liked it. It was a good, solid movie. The premise was there. Like, that is completely feasible for that to happen.
The premise sounds like a rejected sitcom idea.
No, but it's possible. But it's possible.
Yeah, everything's possible.
Would you like to explain to the audience, to your audience, what the...
If you see the trailer, you know what the concept is. Basically, Vince Vaughn plays this loser who finds out that he's really the biological father of 533 children because of a mix-up at a sperm donor clinic. And yeah, that's basically the story.
That's the story.
And
they're
it's
sticking to
stupid.
It. No, that's feasible, though. I don't know about 536, but that is...
533.
33. That,
Fuck, who cares?
That number is... I mean, it's the concept is feasible.
The concept sounds like a lot of people that don't...
Idea. But it's you know what? Titanic could have been a rejected sitcom idea, too. You never know.
No, don't give me that bullshit. Because you can't make a... How the hell do you make a sitcom out of the Titanic, for starters? What's the season finale gonna be like? Oh, we're going down, timber.
Forrest Gump could have been a sitcom.
Okay, that one I'll give.
Saving Private Ryan could have been a sitcom.
Like MASH? What?
What's your favorite movie?
No, I'm not even going to tell you because I know what it's going to turn into. Grown-ups... Okay,
I would watch that
if we're going on that route, Grown-ups 2 could have been a drama. All right.
I would like that.
Okay. So let's start with the very obvious problem. Vince Vaughn is as charismatic as a 2x4. He's trying to be serious, and he sucks at it. I feel like I just wounded you a little bit.
I'm going to disagree. Vince Vaughn has his own unique style of charm and charisma.
As in he has none.
No, it's his own unique style. That's why he plays so well against people like Owen Wilson.
As a comedic actor.
This movie was a comedy. It was a comedy,
very bad one.
It was a comedy with a few dramatic elements to it, but it wasn't the drama that you and I both went in there thinking it was going to be. It was a comedy with dramatic elements.
It was a shitty comedy because I don't think I laughed. I take it back. I laughed only once.
I laughed many times. I thought that was an excellent film. It was very, very well done. Vince Vaughn has his own unique unique level of charm. Vince Vaughn.
That's like saying Kirsten Stewart has her own unique version of charm.
She has her own unique version of charm. It's okay. Look at somebody like, you don't watch TV much, but do you watch Parks and Rec?
I've seen parts of it.
Okay, well, that's not a good example then. You wouldn't have seen enough. Anyway, there's certain actors and actresses, if they all had their own, if they all had this very similar charm, then movies would be boring. But Vince Vaughn is different than Michael Cera, and different than Owen Wilson.
It doesn't matter the fact that he's
Morgan
different.
Freeman.
It doesn't matter that he's different. It's more about how it's done, and it's not done well here. Like, that's really what it comes down to. It's like Vince Vaughn does not give a good performance. It's bland. It's uninteresting. His character is boring.
But it would have been too goofball-y had they got like Owen Wilson or somebody who's much more outgoing to star as the lead.
And it would have been better.
No, I disagree. It needed to be somebody who's kind of like that, straight-laced person who's got that like kind of sarcastic edge to that.
That doesn't change the fact that he doesn't do it well here.
He does it so well.
No, he doesn't. Here's what an actor is supposed to do. Make me believe a lie.
Okay.
That's basically what an actor is supposed to do.
Yes, that's true.
Vince Vaughn didn't convince me for a fucking second. And the parts where I'm supposed to take him seriously. All I'm thinking is like, take a class. Take a fucking class or talk to somebody, a coach, something. Say, hey, maybe you need to try in this scene. Not, hey, I'm gonna just stare at the camera and, because this is what dramatic people do, right? But like, for comedic moments, I'll give him credit. I'm not a big Vince Vaughn fan, but he can do comedy fine. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not gonna argue that. But here, where the role is demanding these to be taken somewhat seriously, he just drops the ball.
I disagree, but I think in the certain scenes of tension in this movie, he played it off well. You could see it in his body language. You could see the uncomfortability in his eyes.
But you can't see it where it counts, which is on the face. He looked bored.
I did. I saw it on the face. Because then maybe that's because I see a lot of Vince Vaughn movies, and I'm a big fan of him to the point where I can
that's why I like this movie.
I believe anything you tell me, Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn is the greatest, I think. Vince Vaughn was the perfect person for this movie. It would not have been believable with somebody who was more charismatic, like maybe Owen Wilson or something like that. It needed to be somebody who's the kind of straight-laced person. I think Ben Stiller might have been able to pull it off.
Yeah.
Maybe Steve Carell, but those would have been too goofball-y. Jim Carrey wouldn't be able to do it. It needed to be somebody who's believable as being
Jim
kind
Carrey
of...
could have done it.
But Jim Carrey's not believable as the Joe Schmo. He's always going to be Jim Carrey, regardless of if you dress up in a suit and tie and he's sitting there filing paperwork. He's always going to be that Jim Carrey. You're going to wait for him to explode. Vince Vaughn is kind of cool in the sense that you could sit there and watch him be Joe Schmo. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying, but you're still wrong.
Okay. Okay.
Because, look, the everyman thing is not a new idea. We've seen it. Goddamn home. No, we've seen this exactly. You know exactly how this movie is going to go from beginning to end. You know exactly how it's going to start. You know exactly how it's going to escalate. And you know exactly how it's going to end. Mm-hmm. There is no surprises. There is no original ideas. The script thinks it's smarter than it is. Mm-hmm. Because, hey, let's take on drug abuse by talking about it for one scene. And then we drop it completely. Hey, disability! We can say something about that, right? No.
As somebody who works with a lot of disabled adults and children, they handled that whole mini storyline very, very well.
I will admit they did keep it relatively tame. They didn't do something ridiculously stupid that would have pissed off half the audience.
They didn't do anything ridiculously stupid, and they got to the core of what they wanted to do. And Vince Vaughn is faced with a child who is nonverbal and non-communicative, which is,
Which begs the question, how do you file for the suit?
Probably somebody did it on his behalf.
Where is that person?
The mother, probably not there. Oh, there's a lot of parents who put their children, disabled children, in homes. It goes on.
But why would they let this total stranger come in and take him out of the hospital?
That part was one of my non-believable parts, because that would not have been allowed.
The whole movie's a non-believable part.
But going back to what I was saying, was the fact that it showed that you've got this disabled adult who is non-communicative, non-verbal, and Vince Vaughn struggled with the idea, what do I do with this kid? And the person was flat out, just sit with him. And then Vince Vaughn realized after a while that just sitting with him and being present was all that mattered.
Okay, here's a test.
Yeah.
What was the character's name?
Ryan.
No, I mean the main character. You don't even fucking know, do you?
David.
Damn it. I was so close to winning that one.
David Wozniak.
Damn it. All right. I was so close. I almost won that one.
Nice try, buddy.
But no, I mean, the whole point of the movie is all 144 of these kids decide they want to know who the real real father is. So they filed like a suit against the donor company, even though Vince Vaughn has signed a confidentiality agreement, and he hires Vince Vaughn hires like his equally loser buddy.
Chris Pratt, in a great role. Chris Pratt, I love him, and to see him in another role like this is just
You
great.
did not just say that was a great role.
Yes, it was.
Get out. I want you to
I love you, Chris Pratt.
just sit in the back, just sit on the trunk and think about what you've done.
Okay. Can I bring my iPod?
No. Okay, so while he's doing that, let's lay out some law on you on why some of this part of the movie is fucking bullshit. And stop being creepy. Okay. God damn it, Patrick. All right. So what happens here is these kids sue this fraternity, even though he signed a goddamn confidentiality agreement. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about this. The case closed. This is not a complicated situation. He signed a legally binding confidentiality agreement. Case closed. Game over. Movie over. It's over. It's done. All right, I'm back. You can get back in now.
You didn't let me bring my iPod, but I had candy in my pocket. Score.
What am I gonna do with you? Anyway.
So we're talking about Chris Pratt's.
Now, I was talking about
Incredible acting.
the complete bullshit of this whole paternity lawsuit thing.
No,
Which-
that would be a legitimate case. Granted, the lawyers probably have that cracked up so well. Actually, yeah, I don't think that would happen.
No, and even that, like, if even so, that really can happen. The writers are not smart enough to place any positive on a flight to make it actually fucking believable. Like, he signed a confidentiality agreement. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. It's not a complicated situation. They say it's a complicated situation, so you don't think about it and realize that's total bullshit. Like, they don't bother going legality. They say, well, it's just a complicated situation. I could explain it to you, but I won't because even I don't know what it is because I didn't fucking do fucking research on why this would be a legitimate thing. But no, he signed a confidential. He signed the document. Case closed. It's done. That's legally binding. There is no case here. There's no complicated situation. It's over. It's done.
It was a complicated situation because he didn't use his full legal name. He was going by an alias.
Either way, still legally binding contract.
Not when you sign an alias.
Well, why did the movie talk about that?
They did. Did you pick up on that?
They didn't once mention that. Well, he was using an alias. They didn't use a real name. They never talked about that. In fact, come to think of it, if that was the case, then how did the word Starbuck get out?
Because they looked at the files and they realized it was all under Starbuck because the person. They normally would check that at the donation place, but I guess he had some sort of agreement with the person working there to do that so that he would use the same alias.
But then why would they release the alias if that's still technically the alias that's under the confidentiality agreement?
I don't know. Somebody got a hold of the file and noticed that. Because they knew it was an alias at that point. At the point it came out, it was an alias. Pretty sure places like that have a policy on donating too much.
Oh, yeah. By the way, let's talk about how they so charmingly handle drug abuse.
It was quick. It was to the point, and I liked it because it wasn't going to be an ongoing thing. It was the first time that one of his children, it was like the third or fourth child he met, had actually like screwed up and been in a situation where like she was close to dying. And it was like, this isn't all fun and games, because the first one it's like, oh, I'm going to, run the coffee shop for you or whatever. The other one's like, oh, I forgot what it was, but it was, something similar.
Equally charming.
Yeah.
Or something.
So the third one, it's like,
Whimsical.
this girl just like tried to kill herself because she can't make rent. That's when it hit him. You could see the look on his face because he's such an amazing
maybe if it
actor.
went more in that direction, it could have been better, but it doesn't. When it does this. It has the happy ending bullshit method, which is like, we can brush over this huge fucking issue with one scene because we don't want to talk about this. It's basically what it does. No, let me finish my sentence here.
Yeah,
'cause
sorry.
this is a good point. Because what happens is, like I said, so he takes her to the hospital, and the doctor says she needs help. Get her in a rehab center, and basically says like, she's like, no, I can quit when I want to, but it's the biggest I'm a drug addict phrase you can say on camera or anywhere, period. And he says, but I have a job tomorrow. I need to have this job, and he basically decides to let her go because of the job thing, and somehow that's the magical cure for drug addiction, even though it's not that fucking simple, and it's never brought up again.
But he checks on her. He checks on her to see if she's working at 8 a.m. in the rain, gets up in the rain to go to work at 8 a.m. the next morning.
So fucking what?
If she went back and started doing heroin, then
She could wait after work.
I don't think people who are doing heroin would do that. She got up in the rain to go to work at 8 o'clock next morning, so then he was fine with that. And then he later checks on her throughout. That was the thing. That was when he was in his mentality that he was going to be the guardian angel to all these kids.
But again, it's never talked about again. So like,
Well, it's the implied that he's the guardian angel because then he just gets more and more kids. That was the struggle of the movie, is because you need to fit all. You can't have 144 storylines.
Like, I didn't care about Vince Vaughn because I thought he was a douchebag character. Like, I don't care about any of the kids because I don't know any of the fucking kids because we only get 5 seconds with each.
Well, you get more than 5 seconds.
Okay, well, some of them get more than 5 seconds.
But they're all hipsters. They all look like they were pulled out of San Francisco's Mission District casting call because they were all like very well dressed, like very good looking hipsters. And I think that was really funny when you're looking at the courtroom. You're just like, that's an attractive bunch of people right there.
Except for one guy who was a little on the hefty side. But either way.
Yeah, it's okay. Look at his facial features.
But it's just like, that's a big problem in the movies. Like, I don't care about any of this. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not given a good reason to care. I don't, like, even despite the drug abuse thing, I don't care what happens to her because I don't know her. I've known her for 5 seconds, do drama, and that's it. She's pretty much gone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, she reappears at different parts.
But for like, again, 5 seconds. Totally insignificant.
He looks at her and he realizes she's fine because if she was still doing heroin, she wouldn't be there at the meeting.
My point is, she doesn't really have any much more significance. Out of the same goes for Actor Boy, who runs the coffee shop, who has that one moment where he gets fired from his job, but it's all okay because he got the part, even though realistically, based on the acting he had at the coffee shop, I don't think he would have gotten the fucking part. Because even I was like, you need some classes.
Maybe the audition was for like a disgruntled barista.
He couldn't even fucking do that well. So maybe it was just as cop number 3. After 5 takes, you know what? Just stand there. Just stand there.
Just do it. Sorry.
But it's just like it's a the bomb. What it really comes down to is like I just don't care about any of these characters. I don't like any of them.
Mm-hmm. I liked them all. They were very nice.
Like except for maybe like his girlfriend. I kind of liked. I'll give her that. I'll give her that much. For the little thing she was given to do in the movie, she did well.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that it's a stupid scenario.
Okay.
Whether it's possible or not.
Okay.
It is poorly executed because, again, it's one of those things like, under the right circumstance, any concept, no matter how stupid, could probably be done well. But it takes the right writer and the right actors. They don't have either for this.
Yeah.
Because it does the wish-washy, charismatic, so charming I want to puke mentality of it.
Because Avatar is an awful idea for a movie.
It's also not that great of a movie.
Yeah, I hate it. But sorry, that'll be another review for another day.
That's a whole other thing. But
Are they making a sequel?
They're making like 5 sequels.
Oh, God damn it.
And that's the movie you hate. You're okay with this, but Avatar, that's going too far.
Yeah. This movie was...
That's nice to know where you draw the line.
That's where I draw the line with movies, is Avatar.
Oh, man.
I've seen Pocahontas once. I don't want to see it again. Actually, I'll see Pocahontas again. If I want
or
to see
Dancing with Wolves, or really anything involving Indians and Americans.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going on about how much you love Vince Vaughn.
I think there was a few parts where I started getting really mad, and you were laughing at me during these parts.
Yeah, because, okay, in your movie reviews, you've done, let's say, 100 in the past. No, well, you haven't been doing this for over... Okay, close to 100.
Like, I think we're at like 75.
How many people, not talking about the theater, how many people you've personally been with in the movie have cried?
Like, in the movie?
Yeah, in the movie.
On our team or in general?
On your team, including you.
I almost cried on 12 Years a Slave.
Okay. I came close during this movie.
What?
I came close. This movie was that good. I came close to crying, and I thought you'd be like accepting that and being like, you know what? It's a very emotional movie, Patrick. You would not have let me live that down. I'm not this close.
I'm not gonna let you live that down. Now you've told me. Now that's in my head.
You know who would comfort me and tell me it was all okay? Vince Vaughn. Or Chris Pratt.
No, he wouldn't. He would stare at you for 5 seconds blankly and then say some one-liner and then walk away.
I hope Vince Vaughn sees this movie. I hope Vince Vaughn sees it.
I hope he sees this movie as a lesson of how not to make a good movie.
What did you think of Wedding Crashers?
I never saw Wedding Crashers.
Okay. Oh, dude, you're missing out.
I've seen parts of it, but that's not the issue here.
That's not the issue. Okay.
The issue is that this is a piece of shit.
I enjoyed it.
Now, okay. But at least... No, I'm not okay with that. I just... This is like when you told me Grown Ups 2 was good.
Yes, Grown Ups 2 is a great movie.
I hope you say that ironically, knowing that it's a bad movie.
No, I went into it with expectations of Grown Ups 1, and it exceeded the expectations that Grown Ups 1. The Grown Ups 1 set the bar. Grown Ups 2 exceeded that bar.
No, Grown Ups 2 lowered the bar.
It exceeded it. Grown Ups 2 is better than Grown Ups 1.
It's like, you ever seen that South Park episode?
Grown Ups 2 is like Home Alone, where it's just like the second one's better than the first one.
Yeah, that one was Home Alone. This one is more like a half-hour sitcom that stretched to an hour and 30 minutes. I sat through one of those fucking hour and a half. Like, that whole 75 to 90 minutes. It's a pure drivel. That's a video for another day. But...
You know what?
What?
I think they should get Vince Vaughn and Chris Pratt to be in Grown Ups 2. 3. I wonder if Vince Vaughn's going to be in Anchorman 2.
Lord?
I think he is, probably.
I know you're testing me here. But, I hope you know... I know a good place to hide the bodies. So, give me patience, Lord. Because this review will be over very quickly otherwise.
Can we, I know I'm on a time constraint, could we take a break for a moment to talk about the trailers, and then we'll jump back into the movie? And I don't want to go over all the trailers, because most of them we discussed in our last movie review, and I'm sure you've discussed in other ones. Could we please just discuss the Medea Christmas movie? And the addition of Larry the Cable Guy into the Medea movie.
Lord?
Lord, thank you for that. Thank you, based God, for putting Larry the Cable Guy in a Medea movie.
Yes,
I can't think of any
Tyler
other...
Perry looked at this and said, how can we make this worse? And they thought, oh, Larry. Let's get Larry the goddamn Cable Guy in a goddamn Medea movie. Right after the trailer, goddamn Anchorman 2.
You have no idea how ecstatic I am for movies. Like, I feel good for the future of American cinema right now. And I'm not saying that ironically. Maybe I have low expectations, or maybe I'm just really, really easy to please. Anchorman 2 is going to be a solid movie. I will go see the Medea movie, with or without you. And I'm going to buy Delivery Man on DVD. I might go see it a second time.
So if you're watching this right now, this is not a confession. This is not an admission of guilt. But, if he suddenly disappears, I want this as documented proof and saying on the record that it was not me. Although the motives were there, and so was the temptation. But okay, on that note, let's talk about again, since we're on a time constraint, let me talk about the courtroom scene.
We got 20 more minutes. We're fine. We're not going to use that.
Fair enough. But either way, I want to talk about the court scene because what happens is there's a part that I missed. I went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming...
It was the part where they explained the whole movie and that you would have loved it. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
Really?
That scene really tied the movie together.
Yeah, I'm sure it was them going, April Fools! This is not a real comedy! And then they go back to the scene.
It was just Vince Vaughn turning the camera. Michael, we're playing this big joke on Michael. This is great. We're going to make him sit through this. Okay, back to the movie.
I would love to be that popular. That Vince Vaughn went and made a practical joke at my expense because of how much I hate his movie. Watch, he's going to watch it. Someone's going to like a cease and desist order. Or he's going to just find me and punch me in the face.
Maybe. No, he wouldn't do that.
Either way, I would wear that black eye with pride. It's like, I pissed off Vince Vaughn. What have you done with your life?
I don't know. Maybe he would like buy me an ice cream or something.
You defended me, Patrick.
Good job.
Anyway, to the courtroom scene where...
I thought maybe about getting ice cream with Vince Vaughn. That'd just be so cool.
You know, fuck it, I would go...
No, you don't get to go. That'd be the great part. He wouldn't invite you. He'd be like, "Okay, asshole, like you didn't like my movie. Bye."
No, I'm just gonna. Even if it does, I'm just gonna wait at the window with a sign that says, "You made delivery, man. What were you thinking?" Anyway, the courtroom scene. What happens is at some point after like the story gets out, and he becomes like a celebrity, or at least a Starbucks alias becomes a celebrity. Vince Vaughn gets with Chris Pratt and files a counter lawsuit for damages, which again is a very legitimate lawsuit in comparison to I want to know who my daddy is lawsuit, which is based purely on moral grounds and will not hold up to court for shit. And guess what? It doesn't, which is like the only realistic part in the movie.
If the donation facility had a not very well structured contract in terms of confidentiality, that could easily be broken.
At the same time, however, the argument presented here for the defense, or for the whatever, is basically like, well, they don't know who their daddy is. Yeah. Can we change that? That's all. That's, again, the movie is not smart enough to take these issues on.
Because, okay, consider most of the families probably had adopted mothers and fathers, so most of the kids aren't going to care, which is true. 130 something out of the 500 and whatever were there at the courtroom.
Again, it's still strictly a moral argument, though.
So it's not every single one's like, ooh, I want to know who this guy is. I'm going to, like, devote time to go to, like, meetings to find out who this guy is. Like, 1/5 of them, 1/6 of them.
Doesn't matter. Still the same.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, because it's still a bullshit argument that wouldn't win off any judge. Well, I won't say any judge, because I'm pretty insane. But, like, when any reasonable judge would be won by that argument. Why? Because it's legally bullshit. And there's a part where it's like, they're lost children, and they just need to know who their father is. And she's going, and the judge is like this, and she's nodding up and down. I was like, bull fucking shit. Any judge who takes that argument seriously needs to be just disbarred immediately. And just thrown out of the courtroom and work at fucking McDonald's. I'm sorry. But that's complete bullshit.
Okay.
Complete nonsense.
Okay.
Meanwhile, his argument's like, without the confidentiality agreement, these people wouldn't be here. We need that. It's like, in that one sentence, has he presented a better argument than anyone else in this courtroom?
Yeah. Because it's Chris Pratt, and he's just that cool.
I don't blame Chris Pratt. I blame the material.
Yeah.
I'll give it that much credit.
Yeah. The funny part that
That's a trick question. There is no funny part.
The part that I didn't necessarily agree with in the movie was how upset people got, including his girlfriend, about the whole situation. Because people do that.
It's not like it was his fault.
It's not his fault. He was doing a job, and, you know, that you're helping families have children who can't normally have children.
That's another question. Where are the other adopted parents? Or are they the other parents in this movie? Do they just, like, forget about their kids? Or, like, hey, what about me?
The kids are all adults, with the exception of, I think it was, like, mid-teens to, like, low teens, because... Not mid-teens, mid-20s to, like, low teens, because the youngest girl's 17. But, you know, some of them look like they're 20 to 25 or so.
Like, I'm kind of curious, at what point did you realize I was not on your side on this movie?
Toward the very end where I turned and you were just like, did you flip off the movie? No, that was Anchorman 2,
that was
the trailer.
That was Anchorman 2 trailer.
We were in the last row, so you didn't piss off anybody in the theater.
That's why I sat in the last row, because I knew that was going to happen.
There was one point where I looked at you and, like, the moment of compassion, like, to look at my friend and be like, this is an emotionally powerful movie. Like, are you with me, friend? And you just had this look on your face like you wanted to die. And I was just... okay, I guess we're not on the same page here.
And you actually applauded that movie. I thought you were doing it to fuck with me.
No, I legitimately liked the movie.
I was like, you can't be serious.
No, I liked the movie. I loved it. It's good. It's a good, solid film.
I am not in the healthiest state to deal with this right now.
Did the movie make you feel better?
I think it just elevated things. Like, check my temperature. No.
Crying might be good for your sinuses if you opened up your heart and let the movie touch you. On the inside.
I'm not letting Vince Vaughn touch me anywhere. Even it is to punch me. Where did the bad man touch you, Michael? Where did the bad movie touch you? It's okay, it's alright, don't be shy.
That's an idea for a short film that you can produce.
That's actually not a bad idea. I'm gonna make that script over winter break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on that.
Work on it.
Anyway. But the reason I'd be crying is because I'd be in so much pain. Not because of anything the movie did. Well, actually, in spite of what the movie tried to do.
Because the movie was so good.
It ended on a giant ass group hug that was so cheesy. Even Disney said, dude, that's too much. I want that to sink in.
I liked it. Because
even Disney would not do something that ridiculously smarmy. And they made Bridge of Terabithia.
Oh, God. They made Atlantis. That's the one I don't like.
See, that's the funny thing. I actually liked Atlantis.
I'm done. This professional relationship isn't gonna work.
You and I are done professionally.
Yeah.
All right, Christian Bale. Yeah, I forgot about that. I haven't forgotten. Anyway. But, Jesus Christ. I think the only thing we're going to come on common ground here is that it's over.
Yeah, it's over. It happened. It was an experience. It happened. We'll share this experience for the rest of our lives.
We will.
When we have children, we're going to tell them.
We're going to tell them. Let me tell you about the Delivery Man review.
And they could probably watch this.
Yeah, probably, if it's still on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll probably have a digital file somewhere. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just want them to know that it's the only reason because my nose is stuffing up right now and my bones are aching, that I haven't gone all Texas Chainsaw Massacre so far in this car. And that is, again, my defense I will use in court if Patrick disappears after this review.
That is because it's a rental car.
There's that, too. Hey, I want to clean it up. Have you seen Pulp Fiction? You can do that.
Just return the car.
Just throw a blanket over it.
Blood everywhere.
So I think we're pretty much done
Okay.
talking about the movie as much as I could think of things to talk about.
I think it was good.
And
It was solid. And I know that I have very low expectations for movies. And we're not gonna come to a common ground, and I'm not being like
Nope.
facetious. I really enjoyed the movie. I think the one thing, if I had to pick one strength of the movie, was the way they handled the disabled adult. Because that was handled in a way from coming from a community where I'm involved in the community of disabled adults and assistants and people like that. The way they portrayed that, very, very well done.
I will give it that. So, trailers. We are talking about Medea.
Mm-hmm.
We had Anchorman. We talked about that Ben Stiller one last video, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And the only new one here was the Sylvester Stallone movie and the Robert De Niro movie.
Yeah, that looks good.
I mean, it looks decent. It's Robert De Niro, so he's good in it. And
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone is Sylvester Stallone. Even though he's supposed to be trained here, he still looks like he bench a truck.
Yeah.
In fact, he actually does pull a truck at one point in the trailer.
I don't know. That's going to be a good movie. I think Robert De Niro and Sylvester Stallone are just such great actors that they're going to pull it off.
I don't know about Stallone necessarily.
Like
but-
Kevin Hart in that too. That's going to be good.
Is Kevin Hart in that one?
Yeah.
No.
Kevin Hart's the African American trainer.
Yeah. And is Chris Tucker or Chris Rock?
No, that was Kevin Hart.
No, the comedic black best friend.
That was Kevin Hart.
That was Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was the guy from...
Not the trainer, sorry. The trainer and like the hype man, the ring man.
Oh, I thought that was the guy from Silver Linings Playbook. I'm getting my fingers crossed there.
No, that's Kevin Hart.
Okay, then. I'm a potential racist. And on that note, that's going in the most offensive moments video. Yeah, it looks decent. I hated this movie. Patrick liked it.
I loved it.
And we are no longer speaking after this for
No.
at least a month.
Okay. Well, until Anchorman 3 or 2. I hope there's an Anchorman 3 until Anchorman 2.
Will you please stop making my soul die? Just stop.
I'm happy. I'm excited for the future of American cinema. I liked this movie.
After Smurfs 2, there's no going back for me. I've given up on...
Smurfs 2 could have been a sitcom.
Fucking A. Even a drama would have been better. In fact, Smurfs 2 was a fucking sitcom. Who were you kidding? Based on the way the movie was set up, it was a goddamn sitcom. Anyway, we're done here, and I'm gonna beat up Patrick now. So
Okay.
I'll see you all.
I'm ready.
Me and Emma saw Hunger Games, but she had to catch a bus, so we didn't get a chance to record the review. We're gonna get that done as soon as possible. Probably not till next week. Until then, we also have Disney's Frozen, which me and Wes are gonna check out.
Good.
So there's that. Oh, an Old Boy with Grant. But
Okay.
that's it. So see you on my next video, and
Bye.